So I wanted to take a moment to talk about Stray. Right around the time I was doing the Ghostwire video, they released the trailer for the game. And this is a game that most people are excited for. Not because it's groundbreaking in any real way, like the gameplay mechanics look pretty day to day, but there's a special little something inside that game that I think everyone is excited for. I want to spend the next couple of minutes talking about why. So if we're going to talk about Stray, we need to talk about Annapurna Interactive. They're the publisher behind the game, but they're also responsible for genuinely great games that you might have seen or heard of, or at least respected from a distance. Think of things like Kentucky Route Zero or The Pathless, or my personal favorite coming up, 12 Minutes. The other side of the coin is Blue 12. This is a development studio of around 20 people that are all super experienced in the industry, coming from places like Ubisoft and EA, I think. Teams on their first outings can sometimes be super impressive. Games like Bastion, or Disco Elysium, or basically anything Lucas Pope seems to do. The reason I love Stray, I think, is the same reason you love Stray. It's something different. They're taking a chance on a concept that's just a little wacky. Now again, the gameplay isn't mind-blowing. It seems to be, in certain regards, of just an everyday action platformer. But there are two things for me that make it super, super exciting. Number one, there is this beautiful juxtaposition between a house cat and a robotic, desolate, dystopian world. And the second part of that is how true they stick to that. In the gameplay trailer, the character, being the cat, gets a little robot companion. This robot companion gives you some upgrades, gives you the ability to talk, gives you the ability to pick up items, and later on in the gameplay trailer, it gives you the ability to actually kill some of the enemies in the game. But what it never does, it never strays away, no pun intended, from the main essence of the game, which is you are a house cat in this environment. It never feels like a gimmick. It genuinely feels like they're trying to tell this super interesting story just through the lens of a cat. So as you're traversing through this twisted, beautiful, interesting world as a cat, you get to be a cat. You get to scratch things and rub up against people and sit down in places. You get to startle people and just do, it sounds so strange, but you just get to do things cats would do. And role-playing as a cat isn't exactly on my 2022 list of things to do. But when it's said and told through such an interesting lens, it's kind of an exciting experience and game to look forward to. Don't get me wrong, I don't think this game is going to be on anyone's Game of the Year list. But I do think it will garner a huge amount of respect, and already has done, from gamers all across the world, for just trying something original, for trying to go out there and say, hey, this is what story we want to tell, and this is the lens we want to tell it through. And people have clearly had a super, super positive reaction to that. There is a part in the trailer which was my absolute favorite moment, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Did you spot it? Let me show you again, but zoomed in a little bit. It's this. These characters taking a second glance or just a wandering eye at the main protagonist, which is just a cat. And in a world where everything's strange and there's a villain, like an overriding story, that seemingly kill people or threaten people, robots with very humane reactions or interests. The strangest thing in this world is the mirror that's held up against you, and everyone's like, huh, it's a cat. And I think it's just so dumb and so wonderfully explorative that I wish we had more of that in games. It's nice to see the gaming community as a whole just get behind these people, to say, yes, we appreciate what you're doing. All you have to do is spend 5 minutes going down the IGN trailer to see all of the super positive responses that people gave. None of it was in jest, none of it was joking, none of it was mocking the developers. It was a genuine moment of, hey, you're doing something interesting and we all want to play it, congratulations. I love it when teams do things like this, and if you want to see more interesting things, maybe consider subscribing. If you want to take a chance on another video, you can try any of those, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.